Starting to the top right for CJ Entus, the Zerg player in red, it is
CJ Entus EffOrt.
Going for a 10 pool, in fact.
That is actually really interesting. With the 10 pool strategy, you are in a great position against the command center first, even if it's on the high ground. To the top left of the map, we have the Terran player starting for LGIM, coming off an all kill in the GSTL.
LGIM YoDa.
And he's looking to do a CC first. As you can see, he's rallied a lot of SCVs, or rather queued up, I should say.
Okay, so one of the reasons why this is actually a great strategy for a Zerg play, if you expect to go up against a Terran that goes into a CC first, is that if you get up the ramp and your opponent has that command center building, you can actually take that down if you attack with all of those links. Positioning is everything here, and the scouts are already on the map. The Overlord is going to the top left, whereas the one drone is at the bottom right. So what he's going to do right now, up to the point where the Overlord knows where his opponent is positioned, that he will rally the Zerglings into the middle of the map, cross position, and then when he scouts, he's going to change course.
Yep.
But with the Overlord seeing this wall, he should be able to move in right away. And the big problem for YoDa is that he does not know what's happening.
He has no idea. He's just going to see an Overlord, which is totally normal. And there's the wall spot. The Lings have already been re-rallied. 2 more additional ones coming out. The Queen also started here. And the question is, how much damage can he get done? He may be able to end the game. Very unlikely. But he's definitely going to have some damage potential here.
SCV is now on the way. Let's see where exactly he's rallied. Oh, he's rallied to the right side of the map, and that is great for YoDa. He's going to see those Zerglings. If he would have been rallied to the bottom left, would have been a completely different game. But as it is, he has to somehow hold this. And he can still do damage. The question is, can he really cancel the command center? The problem is, if you go for an even faster pool than this, usually it's not a problem at all. I'm not quite sure if it's...
control the SCVs?
I don't think he's actually able to break through.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
With the 6th pool, if you go into a very early pool with the 6th pool, you can break through, you can force the cancel, but in this scenario you can't, and I think now he's going to be pretty much shut down. We have, of course, the hatch immediately being built, and he has to repair. He's losing mining time here, but once the first Marine is in the game, it's not going to be a problem for YoDa anymore to hold.
Yeah. He's basically paying money to lose mining time here, but he still has a second command center with double meals that he's going to use to catch up in the economy extremely quickly. Well, he's already ahead, I should say. This is what the trade-off is. And the depot is going to start to burn if he doesn't get over there. That was close.
Yeah, the funny thing with this strategy is really that if you go for a 6th pool, I think it works still with a 7th pool. I don't know about the 8th pool though. But with a 6 or with a 7 pool, you can actually force the cancel on one of the building structures, and that gives you a great chance to end the game early on. So it's one of the best counters that you have against the CC first. Problem is then scouting where your opponent spawns on a map like this. That's a little bit tricky, but we've seen that in the past. I think it was actually Kangho who used this strategy. I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, we've seen it on this map in particular. As it is, EffOrt is already a little bit behind. He was hoping for a command center on the low ground that would have given him a great opportunity to end the map early on, so he could delay a little bit of mining time, but he's still the player who is behind in the series now.
Yeah, you know, you very rarely see CCs on the low ground unless you're playing against Marine King these days.
Looks like we're going to have Hellbats here.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean about changing it up a little bit from what we saw in the GSTL by YoDa. I expected that he would try to have a very specific build plan, because in the GSTL, he knew who he was facing first, and then he had to kind of alter what he was doing based on who he faced. And now he's probably got very specific builds for each map, and on this map in particular, he's going for the Hellbats, like you said.
Yeah, this is really interesting because of the Hellbat nerf, of course. So they still can do a fair amount of damage. Not really what I expected here, but that might completely blindside EffOrt. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be ready for this. He's taking the lead in the harvester count, but keep those mules in mind. We already have a double orbital.
Very true. And the third base is on the right side of the map. A good choice by EffOrt. This is something that YoDa is going to attempt to scout right now after he passes the watchtower. First Hellbat on the way. Starport nearly completed. So we'll probably see 4 Hellbats and 2 medevacs before he moves out, so he can go to multiple locations. And here come those Hellions. Will scout the third. Doesn't even tap it. He's going to go up here and see if he can delay some tumors. Not so. Marauder and Stem on the way down as well.
I'm very interested to see how much damage he can do with the Hellbats.
I am as well.
To be quite frank with you, the only time where I've really seen Hellbat used early on after the patch was when Bomber tried to drop on top of Genius Army in the GSTL. It didn't work, and he said later on that he doesn't like Hellbats at the early stage of the game anymore. So with this attack, can he really do the damage that he needs to do?
It's very unexpected. You would normally, in this matchup, have Spore Colors already set up, knowing that this potential is there. You want to be able to defend against the medevacs. Right now, he doesn't have that. So with good boosting on the medevacs and good medevac control, he may be able to make this work. He is going to get...
no. Oh, yeah, okay, he's going to be seen. That's something that...
He can't not see that, yeah, and immediately Spores, and he moves the Lings, so... Yeah, now I don't see this doing a whole lot of damage, to be honest.
Yeah, the Lings are already there. 1-1 is also being started. So EffOrt, after a bit of a shaky opening, starts to stabilize here a little bit, and YoDa realizes that even with the 2 Hellbats, he can't do too much. Just flies back, didn't do anything with this.
Yeah, huge investment. And, you know, if he makes a second factory, that could be one thing. Whoa, 4 drones killed instantly here, though.
Yeah, now we're talking. Going into the mineral line and trying to take down even more of them. Kills a few additional ones. Doesn't get the last shot off. And in total, 7 workers killed. That is a decent trade still.
It's decent trade still, and they're both dead even on Harvesters, which is never what you want as a Zerg player with the mules dropping down. He has to make additional structures right now as well, so he drops down once more in the worker count. He has an upgrade lead coming out, though. That's something that you don't want to forget, of course. When you look at the production tab, you can see the eBay is very late here.
And here comes, of course, the move out now. This is a really scary army that he has. If you have Hellbat, Marauder, and Marines, you can do a lot. The Zerglings trying to get a bit of a kill here, but immediately YoDa is present with his army. And also the front depots raised. That's not a problem for him dealing with this. So let's see how well he can defend against this YoDa.
Yeah, no spines, no wall. Getting these queens out here in the open. And this is a pretty scary push. A bunch of Lings coming up, but Lings alone aren't going to cut it. He has no Roach Warren.
What Mali taught us, no woman, no cry, but if you have no queens whatsoever, then it's going to be a big issue, and 2 of them are already down in the last 3.
Tears. Yeah.
Don't look too happy either.
This base is gone. I feel like he could have even done more with this. He could have gone to the natural, but he's just playing it safe. The counterattack that's being set up with 19 Banelings, on the other hand, could pose a problem for YoDa because he doesn't know about it. But is that really going to be a trade that's equivalent? I don't think so. Even if he busts the wall and kills a few SCVs, he needs to do a ton of damage.
He's trying, but look at all those Hellbats.
Oh, so many Hellbats here, Kaldor.
And the Hellbats are getting their shots off, and there are the Zerglings taking down all 3 of them. Good Baneling hits in the end. EffOrt is going for the counter crash, and he's actually getting into the main base. Huge mistake here by YoDa, not lifting those 2 supply depots.
Yeah, no depot lift here. The medevac also not being microed against the Spore Caller. This is tense. YoDa's going to lose a ton of Harvesters here. He's dropping in supply a lot. He's ahead, but it's dropping rapidly. Right now, worker counts 30 to 39 in favor of EffOrt. The big question is, can he hold this army off? A few more Banelings here. It's all about the splits, and can he get the Marauders to target?
Do you even split? And the question is
answered. Yeah, the question is answered. Not really. That was a huge mistake. Had he split there, I feel like he would be in a great position in this game. As it is, game's pretty even.
Yeah, and
1-1 about to finish.
To me, it's still, I mean, this is like, I'm a bit of a broken record on this topic, but to me, it's you have 10 hotkeys as a pro gamer. Most of them use maybe 6, 7. Why not just have 2 of them to just hotkey the depots at the wall? 2 years. StarCraft is out 2 years, and we still nearly have not a single Terran player who does this, and every single time we see run-bys in the main base or into the natural, taking out games. Exactly. I don't understand it. Well, as it is, Lings get into the main base, do a lot of damage, and even though YoDa had a strong attack on the map, EffOrt now in an okay position.
Yeah, he's got Baneling speed on the way. Starts a few Overlords here. That was a big problem for him, his supply block. These Banelings, I really don't like those. If he gets spotted, he's going to lose every single Baneling. So imagine if those were just spotted, a few more stim out there, pick off Banelings and lift up in the medevac. That's very aggressive for him to morph them like this.
Harvester count now is heavily in favor of EffOrt, but YoDa, of course, has those mules. And we have him with also decent upgrades. That's something that he's getting right now. But EffOrt, of course, being on 1-1. So the game is starting to equalize a little bit, with the biggest disadvantage for EffOrt being no third base. He just restarted his hatch now.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of his Overlords to this Viking. His supply block has been a problem for him this game. creep spread is decent for him, and look at this control from YoDa, just getting in here, finding an Overlord, picking it off, just really annoying EffOrt. Every Overlord lost is a big pain for him.
I feel that YoDa is by far the superior player when it comes down to the late game. So for him being in a position where he has already a triple command center is great. He can rely on the mules, he gets those SCVs out, and he's going into +2/+2. The same is true for EffOrt, but I just feel that in the late game, YoDa is going to be too tough for him to handle, and the Terran player is already up 20 supply.
Look at that, kills all the Tumors and a Baneling and lifts up. Really nice control there. Like you said, he's up 20 supply. He's got this momentum going for him right now. He's had this third command center for a while. And the question now becomes, when's he going to move it? Nice bait here on the Widow Mine. Even hurts the Hellbat a little bit. Wall is set. YoDa, a lot of advantages here. And EffOrt, at this moment in time, he has a lair, but he hasn't even started a Spire. All he has is 2-2 on the way.
And I don't know, YoDa is in a great spot. I mean, there's no talking around that. YoDa is in a great spot. He now sets his defense up again. I love that he's getting another wall at the front with a depots. He's getting Widow Mines this time just in case there's going to be another Baneling attack. And he is moving out onto the map. He kept the creep spread low. EffOrt didn't get the chance to cover the entire map in creep. The 2 Zerglings at the third base are of course queued to do a little bit of damage, but the 2 Marines that are now being lifted over with the medivac, they take out those guys. I have no idea how the Zerglings got in, but they wouldn't be able to do damage with the Marines being present.
Oh, that was a big present for EffOrt there.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was like he was moving on the minimap, which you do see players do from time to time.
I think he was actually just at the natural taking care of those Zerglings, and for a second didn't focus on his main army, and that was, unfortunately for him, exactly the time that EffOrt chose to roll down the ramp and take down his Marines.
Yeah, I mean, this actually puts EffOrt in a supply tie here with him.
Yeah.
Approximately. That was the miracle he needed. And in all seriousness, it may get him back into the game a little bit. I mean, he got an army for free, essentially. And using the Widow Mines here is not actually the answer because he's going to kill his own SCVs.
He's taking out the Zerglings. What he needs to start is 3-3. That's something that YoDa has to get.
Yeah.
Because EffOrt needs to get the Infestation Pit first before he can go into Hive and then the 3-3 upgrades. So the strength of the Terran kicks in if you have that. Once again, no lift on the supply depot, nothing happening, the Widow Mine isn't burrowed. And YoDa is actually starting to struggle a little bit. We were praising his multitasking and his map awareness in the late game, but at this point, he's lacking both.
Yeah, he's failing here. His multitasking is failing. He's getting ahead in supply, and he's defending this, but there's just these little mistakes he's making left and right that are giving YoDa, giving EffOrt slight edges.
He's still playing well, YoDa that is, but he is just making his life a lot harder than it has to be. He's getting those links into the main and the natural over and over again, but now he's moving on to the right side of the map, and he basically tells EffOrt, okay, this is it right now, and now I'm going to take you down. +3 attack has been started. Here are the splits that we've been waiting for earlier. Much better trades this time for YoDa.
Yeah, this time is what you expect to see. The Widow Mines here not being too useful all just yet. What? Damages some depots. A few more Widow Mines still active here. That was a good shot.
That was also a good shot. 1 Widow Mine for 5 Banelings and a few Zerglings. Rest of the army now rolling in. The supply advantage once again for the LGIM player. The Mutalisks are coming into play. 12 of them have been built. We have still Widow Mines to the top left in the main base, but EffOrt might actually have to use those Mutalisks to defend his third base.
Yeah, I think he will. Very aggressive Widow Mines here. YoDa really wants to get that upper hand on the top of the ramp. And the control here from YoDa is not as good as you would expect after seeing how well he did at GSTL. Now he's starting to split his units a little bit better.
Yeah, getting those Banelings, good trades. Yeah, here come those Mutalisks. The cooldowns already activated on most of those Widow Mines. Yeah. Oh wow, 1 Widow Mine actually takes down more Marines than Zerglings.
Yeah, that's kind of been the theme here. Yeah, you can split against the Banelings, that's nice, but if the Widow Mine shoots your Marines, then it's basically the same thing.
3 base against 3 base, 4th base coming in for EffOrt.
EffOrt takes a supply lead here, and if not for the +3, I would venture to say that he may actually be clawing his way into being ahead. It's all about the fact that he's pushed this presser back. There's no more pressure on him now. He's got the 4th coming up. he has control of the map with his Milos, and he can start harassing a little bit.
Tech still being the issue. You mentioned the +3 attack upgrade and +3 armor has been started. We have the first missile turrets now also being produced for the Terran player who wants to be super safe not only in the main base but also at the third. But EffOrt is really committing to his airplay. Getting more windowless into the match and also the +2 attack upgrade.
Yeah, just a few Marines here and a turret. Will take out the Marines. Loses a Mutalisk in the process though, not really worth it. And he's gonna try to intercept here. YoDa, that is, not quite able to do so. Does get some creep. He may lose these Marines if he's not careful. Here comes a huge speed baneling wave.
And again, the Zerglings in the main base.
Yeah, this is...
Hotkey the supply depots, and you will always be able to do that with simple 2 clicks. As soon as you see it on the minimap. It's all that you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a little bit weird that he's allowed that to happen so many times. Even the top tier pros let Lings in sometimes, but not this many.
Yeah, he is really struggling a little bit. He still had it in supply and he's playing a great game. It's just like these mistakes these are avoidable mistakes.
Right.
And he is usually better than that. So he's making his own life so much harder now. And he's losing the missile turret here, has to defend back home, loses the Marines once more at the top. Doesn't micro them because he's busy at the natural defending against this.
Or is he defending against this?
Well, he needs to borrow those Widow Mines that he has there.
Yeah, he needs to also put some units into the bunker. That would help him out quite a bit. And EffOrt, YoDa needs to just stop attacking these ramps like this. He needs to either focus on, put a bunker and a turret and then focus on this, or...
I feel he's panicking a little bit here. Like, he's a great multitasker and a great macro player, but currently it looks like he doesn't know what to control first.
Yeah.
Here come those Banelings. This time we have a decent split, taking all of them out, or most of them. We have a few left on the top of the ramp. But now suddenly YoDa has a much better position. He's still on the same supply. We have the bank for EffOrt, something that YoDa doesn't have. And EffOrt is actually like doing a great job not only staying alive, but giving himself this lead in economy, which we see for him thanks to the 4th base.
Yeah. I feel like EffOrt, he just knows how to use the Widow Mines better than YoDa does. YoDa's got too much faith in these Widow Mines the way he engages. The Widow Mines are great against Banelings if the Widow Mine doesn't hit your Marine at the same time while it hits the Baneling.
The 3-3 is going to be done, and I feel that YoDa has to either really go for it or get himself a 4th base, because EffOrt eventually will go into Hive Tech 2, and now the upgrades are there. Can he make that happen? In the GSTL, he took down so many of his opponents because he just had the better army composition. We also didn't see any drop play from him, disregarding the first attempt where he tried to drop 2 Hellbats in the middle of his opponent's mineral line in the main.
Yeah. 17 more Banelings on the way for EffOrt here, who has still stabilized his economies. He's got creep spread still continuing down to the south, starts his infestation pit. When you start the infestation pit, that's when you know you have some breathing room.
The army supply is a little bit better for YoDa because he has less harvesters and he's taking down so many of the Banelings. So in terms of cost efficiency, though Banelings not doing too much, they were much more effective early on when YoDa was still struggling defending his natural and third. But now there are no counterattacks anymore. EffOrt just has this one focus point where he has to defend against the Terran player, and that gives YoDa exactly what he needs.
Yeah, this position here for YoDa is a decent one if he can trade a little bit better against these units. He's always struggling to get the better end of the engagement. He is a little bit, but not enough to count for the fact that his economy is behind. He needs to start trading a little bit better. He's starting to drop way down in supply, and he doesn't have a 4th command center. And look at all these spines here. YoDa is walking into a brick wall right now in this game.
I cannot understand why he doesn't drop. We've seen it so much in his GSTL matches. I feel just that he personally looks at the game and is like, okay, I have to go through, I have to break him, I have to break him. I cannot afford to just commit a few units to a drop in the top left. I think that's his thought process here. Because he's not even getting a 4th base, he's desperately trying to just break through and take down this 4th, and I just don't see it happening. He's dropping farther and farther behind the supply wall.
I actually think this game is totally in EffOrt's hands. That's it. GG. I was about to say he has to GG now.